Welcome to another DK Custom Products video. I'm Dwayne. This is Kevin. And as you know, around this time of year, those temperatures are rising. And you know, Kevin and I always preach on keeping the heat down on the motorcycle. Not just on the motorcycle, the felt heat, the heat you feel as a rider. You know, if you're hot, you don't want to ride as far. You don't want to ride as long. So there are ways to beat the heat, and that's what this video is about.
We're going to give a bunch of little tips on how to beat the heat. Before we get into those little tips, we have up here a playlist of a whole series that we did on how to reduce the amount of heat that your motorcycle is generating. That's one very good way to beat the heat. It also is, you know, larger, more involved. I think there's like 16 videos in the series. But it's a good series to watch, and if you don't want to watch the whole thing, I think it's the very last video is a summary of the previous videos.
Yes.
The series is up in the corner of the screen, and you can watch that on how to lower the temperature that your bike is putting out. But what we're going to talk about today are some quick tips on how to stay cooler while you're riding.
Well, obviously, the clothes you're wearing. You know, if you're out here in a short sleeve shirt, yeah, that's just like instant gratification. But when that sun's beating down on your exposed skin, you know, overall, and you know, in the end, that's hotter. It's a hotter situation. So long sleeves, regardless of the temperature, long sleeves.
Yeah, and another thing is sometimes even if you're wearing long sleeves, or maybe you didn't, wherever your skin is exposed, put sunscreen on it, because burnt skin will feel much hotter with the sun hitting burnt skin than not. So
it will. And when you get to your destination, you're sunburnt, you still got to ride home.
I'm just saying the sun's really different down here.
The sun is the sun.
Whose side are you on, Eddie?
What? What sides are there?
Mine or the ozones? Choose one.
yeah. I always wear long sleeves, but I wear my gloves, and a lot of times there's a strip right here that's in the sun. I always put sunscreen right there, and of course on my face to avoid that. And that makes a difference. Another thing to do is, in addition to wearing, whether it's a long sleeve shirt, I most of the time during the summer wear a mesh jacket. And you go, oh, that's going to be much hotter. No, a mesh jacket, you get all the air flowing through you, but none of the sun on you. And if it's really hot, I pour water on the mesh jacket, and it's like air conditioning.
Yeah.
It's like a swamp cooler. That air is going through the wet mesh, cooling down as it goes through. So that's a really, really good way to stay cool.
Yeah. Now, as you guys know, we always preach about keeping the engine temperatures down, and Kevin said we have a whole series on that. And that's all well and good. It's good for performance, it's good for the life of your engine, but it's also good to keep that felt heat down. So you get your engine cooler, you're going to feel less of the heat. And another way to feel less of the heat is to get your extremities away from the engine. So if there's heat right here, you want your legs to be as far away from possible, you know, within a reasonable distance. And that's why we add floorboard extensions to the bike.
Yeah,
because you know, you can still access the controls, but your feet rest further away. There's more air dissipating that hot radiating heat, and overall, the end result is you feel much cooler.
Right, and for both the rider and we have them for the passenger on the touring bikes.
That's right.
Another thing is, I don't know, I think they're called snap towels. They're these towels that you get wet and you snap them. And I don't know the chemistry behind it, but it's cooler. You can wrap them around your neck, and that makes a big difference. And another thing that people do is they have those cool vests.
Yeah.
You know, that hold moisture. You put them in the refrigerator or freezer, and then you wear them, and it keeps you cool. Mary has one of those, and she uses it. So the snap towels and a cool vest are another tip on how to stay cool during the warm weather. I never wear 100% cotton shorts, socks, or shirts. They're just hotter than the synthetic blend and all three of those, and they pull the heat away from you. So it's much cooler to use synthetic, both in the socks, the shorts, and the shirts.
That's right, and that's why all of our shirts are printed on the synthetic blend.
Right.
You know, just they're geared for the rider.
Another thing that I do is I use a sheepskin.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people like the beads because, and you can understand how the beads work, it gives a pocket of air
Mm-hmm.
flow between you and the seat so you're not on that vinyl or leather seat. I don't like the beads. I've never been able to get comfortable on them, but the sheepskin is warmer during the winter and it's cooler during the summer. And I think it operates on a similar principle of the beads. It lets the air flow through. So that's another way to stay cool.
Now, gear, you know, it is debatable. Helmets, you know, armor, all this and that. But gloves are a pretty utilitarian add-on. It protects your hands, and you know, in the instance of an accident. But if you get perforated gloves, you know, you have the best of both worlds. You have protection, but it doesn't overheat your hands.
Right, lets the air flow through. Yeah. In fact, I have to get another pair. I've had the same pair for 4 or 5 years, and it has some holes that there's some holes in it that didn't come in
Extra
it.
perforated.
Yeah, there's some extra perforation. Yeah. Another thing that Mary and I have started doing that we didn't used to do, but a lot of people who are smarter than us have been doing for all their riding career, and that is start early in the morning. A lot of people start like at 6 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and they finish at 2 in the afternoon. So they're never riding during the hottest part of the day. So get going early when it's cooler and have your 6, 7, 8 hours of riding in if you're going on a long ride before it even gets to the hottest part of the day, which is usually 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon. So that's what we do, what we could come up with for advice on how to stay cool,
Mm-hmm.
how to beat the heat during these warmer months of the year.
So leave a comment below letting us know what you guys do. If there's something we didn't mention, something we should know about, something you'd like to share, leave us a comment, let us know.
What do you do to stay cool during the warm months?
Yeah. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up.
Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. It helps us out a lot, and we appreciate it.
Hit that notification bell so you'll be updated when our next video comes out.
And all leave us a comment on how to stay cool while riding and ride safe out there. So that's up in the left-hand corner of the screen. Left-hand corner, right hand. That's up in the right-hand corner of the screen. It's our left hand, but they're looking.
You
at
said
this.
both. I'll use whichever one you're right with.
Yeah.
Whichever one's correct.
It's up in the. I know it's the left hand. I got that right now. I'm never going to do that wrong again. I don't know how they work. Do you? Is this thing recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
Okay.
So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. That notification.
I never say that.
Oh.